Hi guys, Dave in Texas here, and what you're looking at is a nice little Sigma guitar, right? And it's about as close as you come to a Martin that I can think of. Now, this guitar is very unique, number one, in that it's one of their better models, okay? I don't see a model number on it, it's probably come off of it, but it's one of those ones with the established, you know, logo head, okay? It's a beautiful body, right? Kind of unique spruce. It's not Sitka spruce, I don't know what kind it is. It's their upper class one with the fitted, you know, back that you see. It's bound all the way around. It's a nice little guitar, you know what I'm saying? But the problem with it is that the frets on it are just totally worn down to a nub, okay? What I may have to do is just give it a test run about recrowning, and I just don't know if it's going to accept the recrowning or not. It may not. It's kind of up in the air, okay? And you know, it's a decent guitar. It's worth doing, you know, to have it recrowned. But I need to take the strings off it, do some measurements with some feeler gauge, and see if I can come close to recrowning or not. And I'll have to really be careful because it's down low. And this guitar, I was going to tell you about its uniqueness, is that it was played at one of the inaugural balls for the president. It was used there, okay? Original owner, very famous guitarist. I can't mention his name, but he gave this as a gift to a friend of his, young man, that I've been working on his guitars too. And he really cherishes this guitar, so he wants it to play very well. Unfortunately, it's playing real flat right now because the, you know, the country chord wear on it, basically. And you know, the frets down here are fine. There's no issue with those. I won't touch those. But the ones up, the 12th up, are very much worn. And I'm gonna have to see what I can do to get those back in shape. Okie dokie. And that will mean some adjustments elsewhere as well. Not just the, just not lowering the fret. Sorry, just not crowning the frets, but what to make some adjustments to the nut and the saddle and a few other things to make this thing right, you know, play right again. And it should be a fun project. It should be fun to watch. I'm using my boom camera again on my boom arm, so I get a chance to look at things without it being in my way and actually get, you know, my hands in there without banging into things, and so you can see a little bit better. So that's kind of the first too. And I'll try to use it throughout the process and let you be able to see things clearer. Now, first things first, of course, as usual, I gotta get these old strings off here. Okay, so I've got a very, very dirty fretboard, and what I've got to do before I do anything is get this thing cleaned up and oiled. And I think if you look at it, you can see me scraping off the dirt with my fingernail, which is kind of gross. See that? Now it's nice and clean right there. The problem is that linseed oil will not clean that off. It'll just stay there forever. It's compound. So what I got to do, I take a watered down cleaner and I clean this board up before I do anything else to it. Oh man, I'm looking down at those frets, they look dismal. I mean, they are very, very low. And I can understand why it was given away, because there's not much life left of this thing until it's recrowned, and may have to go for a refret. I mean, they're that low, guys. And this guy played the crap out of this thing. I'm talking about down to the 15th fret. It's got wear on it. I mean, a lot of wear. So he really, really played this thing a lot. All right. Now, this stuff won't hurt finishes, so let it soak in a bit, and then just rub the crap out of it, get all that dirt off there. Make sure it's coming off. And may take another swipe of this stuff. Now, the last thing I want to do is use something abrasive like a sponge on this But you know, guys, it may come right down to that. It may have to take place because I'll stir it off of it, because it is just impacted on here. God almighty, damn. See all that dirt coming off? That's finger dirt. So let's do this. Let's get the feeler gauge out here. Get some idea of where we are with that, and go from there. Hang in there, guys. Okay, so as soon as my camera starts shaking on the stand, my feeler gauge is giving me some kind of funky readings. I really, I guess, need to take my caliper out and get a depth gauge reading on that. Make sure that this is really close to being a no-go. Okay, and that's what happens when you wait too long. Now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take this little depth part here and get an idea of how much spread I got left. Alright, we're going to try it, try to save this guitar, and all we're going to do is do our very level best and try to get it centered up like that. Now see, this time the camera is not in my way, and you actually see what I'm doing without my hands just, you know, blocking everything. So it looks like it's a pretty good idea. You want to see what I'm doing for a change. And I'm going to go ahead and tape up the first 4 and give that a shot and see if I can do this effectively. If not, it doesn't make sense to go on. But it's not going to damage the thing. It's not going to make it any worse than it is. Well, cross your fingers, guys. Wow, this is gonna work. I can't believe it. It's starting to shape up immediately. Look at this. Let me mark it again so you can see it better. But I've almost got this thing backed around again. Look at that. I've got a tiny bit of the E and B string to finish up, and this one's going to be saved. And I didn't do any wear on the top at all, so I can concentrate just on that one area, on the curvature of it. That came out nice, guys. That is amazing. Well, so it is worth a shot. It's worth doing. And if you have any others out there that you think are just too low, let me know. Let's give it a try. But it was on the you know, on the edge, about to teeter over, and it looks like he brought them to me just in time to save this thing. What's kind of odd about this guitar, guys, is that it used to be an electric guitar, electric acoustic, and they've actually taken out the electronics and left this hanging in there. I guess to keep the height of the saddle where it belongs. I'm not sure, but that doesn't help the play of it very much. And when this is not needed, it's best just to get rid of it and adjust your saddle accordingly. Alright, just to show you a little something real quick. I always make sure to protect the shoulders of the guitars I'm working on in case I get a stubble and whoopsie, they can drag my tool across it. as well as I make sure to plug the sound hole so that shavings get down in it. Now that's especially important for any electric guitar, electric acoustic. One of those pickups, picking up those middle fragments, that'd be a nightmare. And I had to fix that later on. That I wouldn't look forward to, because I don't work on pickups. I don't fix the broken. And as a matter of fact, I've got a guitar in there now, I think it's now. The windings are coming off of the pickups. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. That's just a craziness. It's like they need that that windings, that outside cloth tape that surrounds the copper. You never want that exposed, and it's just falling right off. I don't know what happened to it, but it's not good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and mark the rest of these. Okay, marked up. And these others I'm going to have to split some tape to make it fit properly and not overlap. Alright, so I'll take an X-Acto knife with a sharp tip blade, and about 3/4 of this tape, I'll run a line through it about, I don't know how, about 12 wraps deep across it like that, so you can see this a little better. And that way I just pull it right off its right size, and I can double up on it inside the fret. Let's try to tear this by hand. It gets to be a real pain in the butt ski. Let's zoom in a bit so we can capture some more of this work. Got my big old hands in the way all the time. And you'll be able to see through the magic of friction, these cowboy cords disappear, these indentions. Now the thing is, these files, they don't cut real deep. They don't take a lot of material off. So you have to worry about, you know, going too far. But you always want to make sure they're not choked down with metal bits. But just about the time you got this thing completely crowned up, it'll start to slide like crazy. There'll be hardly any friction at all left on it. But I've got a unique one. I got one with a little groove right here. It's part of the process. I gotta flatten that out. And that's basically because I'm doing that bowed, you know, work like this, you know, rip, rip. So I gotta get back on that, get that out of there. Alright, now it's gone. Ha! And now we got a nice rounded fret. Nice crowned one again. That's what we're after. Okay, still trying to work my camera around. Same like all this leftover fret that's on there. I think I see a tiny indentation here. I better get that off first. Yeah, that got it. Okay, so on to the next one. And these are turning out more to be on the high E side, the E and the B, leaving a flat mark. We pulled the notes on this and flattened them out. So they gotta be re-crowned to keep them playing flat. Alright. Okay, so here we go. Wow. This one's already done, guys. It's ran right over it without anything. It's just smooth as a button. It's already crowned. Okay, next one. Yeah, okay. It does need to be crowned. Not much. Well, there it is. Well, it's finished. We've done the recrown on this guitar now. Only thing left to do before we take the tape off, of course, get all this dust off here. These shavings, basically what it is, metal shaving. We have to do a rocker test on it. We have to do a level and a rocker test on it. And no sense taking the tape off until that's all done. So that'll be next. Okay, well, next step on this job is to go through with a flat piece and check it in 3 different locations on the frets to make sure I call a rocker. Okay? Make sure they're all level in 3 different locations. Alrighty? If I have a high one, I'll have to go through and adjust that one separately. But I'll mark it. And so far, I've done a pretty good job. It's all nice and true. Except for right there, and that's a piece of tape in the way, I think. Let's get that out of the way. But I may have a high one, you never can tell. Let's see. Yeah, that was tape. Alright, so I'm running out of space on this part of my scale. Go to the other side. Checking it to make sure that we don't have any rocking, motions with this little tester here. Which would mean one of the frets is up higher. And I've got to level it down, so no. Okay, thought I had one. I shouldn't have one, but I may. Yep, there's one for sure. That's got one. Okay, so I got to mark this one right here. Alright, so I got to level this one. It's too high. And it's just a slight rock, okay? It's not a lot. It's not an awful lot, so that's no big deal. Get that set up and fixed. Just a slight rocking motion. And steady there, stay there. Stay there, stay there. Now I've already ran the length of it with a larger scale. Make sure I got a nice transition. There's one. Okay, that's a big one. Okay, this one has got to come down. Alright, so the ones that aren't used much do have to have some more adjustments to them. So those 2 will get knocked down, and we'll see if we can't get those flat and even with the others on it. But I also have a thick cardboard cover on that as well. Keep that from having issues. Nope, that's it. So, it's time to take all this tape off here, clean it up, get all those metal shavings off with a brush, put the polish on, the guitar polish on, put the linseed oil on the fretboard, because like I said, this tape just sucks up moisture, and make sure I get all this nice fine shavings out of here, because I don't want those in there, okay? I want those gone and not inside the guitar. Now it's not electric anymore, but still you want to do your job right. So hang in there, guys, while I clean this thing up. Okay, so I've got linseed oil on it to put that moisture back in. That tape just sucks right out of there. I mean, it does suck it right out. And amazing it does that kind of stuff. We'll let that sit down a little bit, and we'll come in here with some wax, not polish, wax. we're going to wax this guitar up. While that's drying, we'll pull away, pull up a bit, and wax this guitar down. All waxed up. This is Nomad wax, guys, so it works very well. It's probably the best I've ever had. And it's best just put it on thick and just spread her out. And give it plenty of time to dry. You don't want to try to remove it when it's wet. It just crumbles and makes a mess. And if it gets on your plastic, it's not going to hurt it. You know. All around the sound hole. Right, there she goes. Okay, so swap that off. Pick guard. Alright, so we're going to let that dry along with that linseed oil. Get that about 20 minutes. Then they'll come off and finish polishing it up, string it up, take off the excess linseed oil, and give it a play. And again, I'm using my boom arm on my camera so you can see better and not be in the way of everything, and my arms be all over the place and make it hard for you to see what I'm doing. And I've heard that, must be a million times I've heard that from you guys, that, you know, show us everything you're doing, do a better job showing it. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. And see, this comes right off when it's dry. And it absolutely does a great job polishing. You know, waxing it up, protecting that finish. And it puts back all that was robbed from it by that tape. And trust me, it does take that away. Now waxing, when you wax guitar, it doesn't do a hell of a lot of cleaning. It does some, but not a lot. That's when you want to polish it with some clean polish and clean it. Alright. Now when you're doing this type of work, guys, you want to make sure that you keep a bag for each of these parts so you don't get confused and use the wrong thing. Use somebody else's plugs or misplace something. And trust me, working on these many guitars at one time, it is easy to do. I come up with that system that works for you. Hi guys, Dave and Tex here, and what we've got is the finished work on this guy's Sigma. We just did a recrown on it to give it a lot more years of play. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Josh Wright, and I play in Martyr's Prayer. It's kind of a metal band.
Cool. How do they get in touch with Martyr's Prayer so they want to hire y'all?
You can call me at 682-777-5510.
Cool. And what city is that in?
Mansfield, Texas.
Cool. Okie doke. What do you think about the guitar? Is it playing well now?
It's playing great, actually.
Cool. It's a lot of fun to work on. Once you play us a little bit music, let's hear it. Nice stuff. Got any more for us? Guys, any questions, give me a holler. Dave in Texas. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.